This is a picture of me in January, and this is a picture of me in May. I went from 240 pounds to 209 pounds, and then a month later, I made it down to 200, a number I hadn't seen on the scale in years. So in total, I lost 40 pounds in the course of 6 months. I'm gonna tell you guys exactly how I did it, but let me start off by saying I am not trying to sell you a course. It seems so hard to find genuine fitness advice nowadays. Seems like everyone's trying to sell you a course, some miracle cure, or some magic supplement. Working out, dieting, losing fat, gaining muscle, these things all come second nature to me because I've been doing it for so long. But I realize to some people, these things can seem very intimidating or complicated. I want to help people become better versions of themselves. In this video, I'll be going over how to figure out your calorie maintenance, how to track your calories, good food recommendations, and a lot of tips and tricks that I've used. This video is specifically going to be aimed at how I lost body fat. Let's take a look at these before and after photos one more time. I want to clarify that in the before photo, I'd already been lifting weights for 13 years, even though it might not look like it. All of the muscle you see in the after photo, that was already there. I simply shed the fat off to make the muscle more visible. Now, of course, you don't have to have years of weightlifting experience in order to track your calories and lose body fat and get into better shape. You can do any form of exercise throughout this process. You could even do no exercise if you wanted and still lose weight, although I don't recommend it because then your daily calorie intake is going to be very low. You can run, lift weights, bike ride, swim, anything. As for the diet, you can technically eat whatever you want, but you have to stick to a daily calorie limit. So yes, you could demolish a bag of mini donuts, but then you're not gonna have many calories left for the rest of the day. That being said, I ate pizza and ice cream almost every single day during my 40-pound weight loss journey. Now, unfortunately, it wasn't Domino's and Ben & Jerry's. I had to find some healthier alternatives, but things like that are what helped me get through this. If you think I was eating nothing but plain chicken breast, broccoli, and rice for months on end, you'd be mistaken. Step 1 is gonna be calculating your daily calorie intake. The first thing we need to do is figure out how many calories we should be eating a day in order to lose fat. Everyone has a maintenance level of calories, and this is the number of calories you would have to eat in a day to stay the same weight. So the goal is to find our maintenance calorie number and eat below that. Eat at your maintenance, stay at the same weight. Eat below maintenance, lose weight. Luckily, there's a handy calculator we can use that tells us exactly how many calories we should be eating in order to lose weight. You can do this on your phone or on the computer. I'm gonna put the link to it in the description. If you search macro calculator on Google, it should be one of the first things to come up. You're gonna put in your age, gender, height, weight, and activity level. Now, it's important to be honest with yourself when it comes to activity level. If your exercise each day is taking your dog on a short walk, that's completely fine, but don't say that you're doing intense exercise. That's gonna throw off all the numbers here. I picked the active option, and that was with me weightlifting 4 times a week and boxing twice a week. I probably could have picked the very active option, but I wanted to play it safe, and I wanted to make sure that I'd be okay if I were to take some days off from the gym here and there. So you're also gonna select your goal. How fast do you like to lose fat? The choice is up to you. The extreme option may be harder to stick to due to the lower amount of calories that you're gonna be eating in a day. If you decide to try it and you feel like it's too hard, you can always come back, select the regular option, and use that number instead. After deciding, we're gonna hit calculate, and then we're gonna write down this number right here, the calories per day number. And that's gonna take us to step 2, where we download the MyFitnessPal app. You'll have to go through some initial setup if you don't have an account yet. And don't worry if it asks you about your calorie or weight loss goals during the setup, because we're gonna put our own numbers in anyways. Once you're in the app and you're good to go, you're gonna click on Diary, and then you're gonna click where it says the number of calories remaining. Click on the number next to Goal, and this is where we're gonna enter the number of calories that we calculated earlier. You can click on Calories right here to enter that value. Now, if you didn't know, macronutrients or macros, these are what makes up calories, and that's protein, carbs, and fat. 1 gram of protein is 4 calories, 1 gram of carbs is 4 calories, and 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. And this is why some people refer to this process as tracking your macros. You're tracking your macronutrients, tracking your calories. After you enter your calorie goal, it's gonna have you adjust the percentages of protein, carbs, and fat. I always suggest, especially if you're lifting weights, 1 gram of protein per every pound of body weight. I would adjust this so that protein matches your body weight, and then you can adjust the fat and carb percentages however you'd like. If you don't know what percentages you should do for fat and carbs, that's fine. It doesn't really matter. I would always make sure to hit my protein goal each day, and I wouldn't pay attention to carbs and fat as long as I was staying under my daily calorie goal. Go ahead and click the back arrow twice, and now we're back to the diary, and this is where we enter all the food that we eat. Before you eat something, click add food under one of the meals, or just click the plus sign at the bottom of the screen and then hit log food. You'll then search for whatever you're about to eat, and once you find it, compare the numbers on the app to the numbers on the label of the item you have in front of you, just to make sure the numbers are correct. Then put in a meal if you haven't done that yet, and then click the check mark. This diary tab will show you how many calories you have left for the day, and when you click on the remaining calorie number, then click on the macros tab, you can see how many grams of protein, carbs, and fat you've consumed. Again, the protein was the only one of these 3 numbers I would track, and I would make sure I was getting around my body weight in grams of protein. I know it might seem like a lot to do this for every single thing that you eat in a day, but in reality, it only takes about 10 to 15 seconds to find and log what you're eating. And especially if you often eat the same foods, they'll be even easier to find because it'll be in your history. For home cooked meals, let's take ground beef for example. You'll need to weigh it, and you'll want to weigh it before cooking it. You will want a food scale for weighing your food. I've tried 2 different scales that were both under $25, and they both work perfectly fine. To weigh your food, turn on the scale, put your plate on it, then hit the tare button to zero it out, and now you can place your food down. Meat should have a nutrition label on it, just like anything else, so you'll search it up and then put in the weight before you log it. You'll see on this one, the serving size is 4 ounces. If you're eating 4 ounces or 8 ounces, then this would be fine. With any other numbers, it's easier to change the serving size to 1 ounce, and then here you can indicate the exact amount of ounces that you're eating. Again, this may seem like a lot to do each time, but if you want to, you can meal prep at the beginning of the week, plan out your meals, plan out what you're gonna be eating, and then you can enter that all in on the app ahead of time. You can click the plus, go to My Meals, then Create Meal. Here you can add a meal, or you can add in your whole day's worth of eating. Let's use this as an example. Let's say I meal prepped a meal that has 3 ingredients, and I made 5 so I can eat them Monday to Friday. I can now hit plus, log food, My Meals, and there it is. All the components of the meal have been accounted for. You can fill in future days of the week by using this arrow at the top, clicking to go to the next day, and then adding it there too. And that's how this works. The pictures I showed earlier of the transformation, that isn't the only time I've done this either. I'm into bodybuilding and lifting heavy, so I like to get shredded before summertime. I like to stay lean throughout the summer. Once it starts to get cold, then I'll bulk up again and kind of eat whatever I want. And I'm not encouraging you guys to lose a bunch of weight and then gain it back. My point of saying that is that the system is so easy to follow and it's so straightforward. I know that if I gain fat, I can easily lose it again by following this exact procedure. I have a good understanding of how it all works, and hopefully now you guys do too. Now I'm gonna give you guys some tips that helped me get through this process, and then after that, I'll be going over some of the foods I ate that helped me get lean. Tip number 1 is to watch out for sauces. Sauces count, and they can put you over your calorie limit without you even realizing it. Take this ranch for example. 140 calories for 2 tablespoons. Do you guys realize how small 2 tablespoons is? You could go to use some ranch and end up with a 700 calorie salad without even realizing it. Tip number 2, it's a real quick one. It's something I said earlier, but I want to remind you guys, always weigh your meat before you cook it. It's gonna lose weight, you're gonna cook some moisture out of it, so it's gonna weigh less afterwards. You wanna weigh it before you cook it. Tip number 3, this is not for everyone, this is just something that worked for me. One thing that helped me a lot was skipping breakfast. By skipping breakfast, it allowed me to save more calories where I was able able to have a decent sized lunch, but more importantly, I was able to have a huge dinner every night. I can't stand going to bed hungry, and I really enjoy having a feast at the end of the day. A lot of nights I'd come home from the gym, I'd eat 2 chicken sandwiches, Halo Top ice cream, and protein pancakes all in one sitting because I had so many calories saved. And fasting is actually really good for your body too. So assuming that you slept 8 hours, then you skip breakfast to wait till lunchtime to eat, you've fasted for about 17 hours by that point, so that's pretty good. It was hard for me to do for the first few days, but I got used to it fairly quickly. Tip number 4, this is for anyone that's worried that tracking calories is gonna make their life too boring. You might think that you can't go out and enjoy yourself on the weekends, so this is what I would do. When summer started, Monday through Friday, I would eat 300 calories less than what my goal was. Doing this 5 days in a row, I now had 1,500 extra calories that I could use up on the weekend. Then I was able to go out and enjoy myself because I knew I had an extra 1,500 calories that I could spend on whatever I wanted. So I had whatever my daily calorie goal was plus 1,500 calories, and it's gonna be hard to go over that. And that's how it works. If you don't use all your calories one day, you can roll them over to the next day. I like to look at it on a week-by-week basis. You can roll them over for different days of the week, but once the new week starts, once Monday hits, then you reset with a fresh slate. Tip number 5 has to do with weighing yourself. Sometimes when you've been tracking calories for so long, you eventually have a day or a whole weekend where you just go off the rails and eat way too much food. This has definitely happened to me. It's not ideal, but it does happen. When I did eat way too much food and just go overboard, I would weigh myself after and I would see a 5 to 7 pound gain from what I weighed before. But if that happens, it doesn't mean that you gained 5 to 7 pounds of fat. That is just your body holding in water weight from all the junk that you had. I've come back from trips and seen myself 5 to 7 pounds heavier than when I left for the trip. The next couple days afterwards, I go back down to normal. So if this happens to you, don't think that you just undid weeks of progress in one day or one weekend. You cannot gain 5 pounds of fat in that short of a time. Also, with weighing yourself, I don't recommend weighing yourself every single day. The first reason is it can be kind of discouraging to keep weighing yourself every single day and not seeing the number that you want to see. And the second reason is, like I mentioned before, your body's gonna naturally fluctuate with water weight. There's gonna be a natural fluctuation of 3 to 5 pounds. I would recommend weighing yourself once a week, but if you are insistent on weighing yourself every single day, what you can do is weigh yourself every single day of the week and then take the average of that week and use that as your weight. Now, if you do go 2-3 weeks without seeing any change in your weight, then it might be time to drop the calories a little bit lower or up your activity level a little bit. Now we're gonna talk about foods. I'm gonna run you guys through the top foods that I was eating to get lean. Of course, you should be eating mostly meats, fruits, and vegetables because you can eat a large volume of these things for not many calories. And that stuff's great, but I'm gonna let you guys know what I was eating during my 40-pound weight loss journey. These are the things that helped me get through it. The first of these foods is Kevin's Meals, and I was eating these almost every single day for lunch. They have surprisingly healthy ingredients for being microwave meals. They're filling, the calories are really low, and they have a pretty good amount of protein in them. The next food is Just Bare chicken breast fillets. These are super easy. They're frozen chicken breast fillets. You can just pop them in the microwave and they have no hazardous ingredients whatsoever. I was eating chicken sandwiches every single night for months, and I still have them sometimes. With only 210 calories and 22 grams of protein, I usually had 2 a night. I would put these chicken patties on Healthy Life keto buns. Their buns are only 80 calories and have 11 grams of protein. So if you do those patties with those buns, the chicken sandwich totals at 290 calories with 33 grams of protein. The next thing that helped me get through this was Wild Protein chips. I love these chips and I'd eat them with my lunches every single day. I'd have a Kevin's Meal right here and my Wild Protein chips right next to it. The whole bag is only 170 calories and it's got 10 grams of protein. Quest also has protein chips and they actually have better macros, 140 calories and 19 grams of protein. Those are an option too. The next thing, I will never stop eating these. I hope they are always around. Ratio yogurts. I love these things and I've eaten them daily for years. Ever since I found out about them, I've had one every single day since. They have more protein than any other cup of yogurt that I've ever seen, and they somehow manage to taste better than a lot of the competitors too. The Oikos 000 ratios blow those things out of the water. These ratios have 170 calories with 25 grams of protein. 25 grams of protein that you can eat in about 15 seconds, that's amazing. Try to find the strawberry cheesecake flavor if you can. It's the newest and the best flavor. Premier protein pancakes. The ingredients in these aren't very good, but the macros are amazing. You can eat 3 pancakes for only 210 calories and 15 grams of protein. I ate these things all the time. I would usually have them as dessert after my dinner, since I usually don't eat breakfast. I would put sugar-free syrup on top of those. There's a lot of brands that make sugar-free syrup and they're all really low in calories. This might be the MVP of my fat loss journey. The next item we have is Halo Top ice cream. The biggest downside to Halo Top is the price, but I didn't care about that. They taste really good and you can eat an entire pint of ice cream for 300 calories. The next thing on this list, it's also ice cream, but homemade ice cream. And that is homemade ice cream with the Ninja Creamy. The Ninja Creamy, it's expensive, but if you love ice cream, I would definitely recommend getting one. You can eat a huge amount of ice cream and have it be really low calorie. And you can basically make ice cream out of anything you want. So what I would do a lot of the time was 2 cups of Fairlife chocolate milk and then a scoop of protein powder. If you do what I just said, it ends up being 390 calories with 51 grams of protein. It makes so much ice cream, I would feel so full afterwards. It was amazing. I love that thing. You can also put fat-free Ready Whip on top of your ice cream. These are great too if you like whipped cream. It only has 185 calories in the entire can. Putting a little on your ice cream here and there, or even your pancakes, not gonna add many calories at all. The next item, homemade pizza. You can use lavash bread for the crust. It's really big. It's like this big and it's only 120 calories for the whole crust. Then grab yourself some pizza sauce, fat-free cheese, and for the toppings, I recommend turkey pepperoni and maybe some chicken or ham cut up pieces of lunch meat. If you don't want to make your own pizzas, I'll let you guys know one thing I ate almost every single day as well: lean cuisine pizzas. They were a luxury since I couldn't have real pizza. I've never looked through the ingredients. I refuse to do it, but they're low calorie. 400 calories, 20 grams of protein for a decent sized pizza. It's like a little personal pizza. That's pretty good if you ask me. And they're pretty filling. Now, of course, we gotta talk about fruits and vegetables. Strawberries and watermelon, especially, are very low calorie. If you're struggling with feeling full while you're on this weight loss journey, try adding a big bowl of strawberries and watermelon to your meals, or a big bowl of vegetables. That'll work too. Riced cauliflower is a great one while we're on the topic of vegetables. It's almost no calories. You can cook this up, throw some soy sauce in it, crack an egg into it, and pretend you're eating fried rice. Well, you've made it to the end of the video, and this is where I share some of the more non-traditional diet hacks that I use to lose 40 pounds. I'm not saying you necessarily should do these things, but these are what I did, and they helped me out a lot. The first diet hack that I have is diet juices, specifically the Minute Maid Zeros. These were great when I wanted to feel more full, or when I wanted something sweet and I was almost out of calories. They come in a pretty big bottle, and I would drink half of this bottle in one sitting because they barely have any calories. And the same goes with diet sodas too. I would drink quite a few of these things throughout the day in order to feel more full, and I think it helps a lot. People say that these are terrible for you. The studies I've read say that you need to drink 9 to 14 cans of diet soda a day in order to consume enough aspartame for it to be bad for you. Popsicles are also a great low-calorie sweet you can have. These popsicles I have right now are only 45 calories. Bomb Pops, those are delicious, and those are only 40 calories. You can have 3 Bomb Pops for only 120 calories. Now, if you're really down bad, you can make the 0-calorie snow cone. And this is where you blend up ice and Mio and a little splash of water or Sprite Zero into a blender, and you make a 0-calorie snow cone. It's a lot of water. It ends up taking up a lot of room in your stomach. You feel kind of full afterwards. If it's the end of the day, you already used all your calories, and you just need something sweet, you can always whip up a 0-calorie snow cone. The next diet hack is saffron pills. These are a natural supplement that helps with appetite suppression. I take these every single day when I'm trying to get lean. Speaking of appetite suppressants, caffeine. Caffeine is another good appetite suppressant. I'm sure everyone already drinks it, but I thought I'd throw it on the list anyways. I would get mine from energy drinks. If you want to be a little healthier, go for that black coffee. Anyways, that's going to conclude the video for today. I hope it was helpful. And of course, if you guys have any questions, just leave me a comment and I'll get back to it as soon as I can. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.